How's it going, you guys? LynxForte here, bringing you my team analysis for the P4G, the Pokemon 4 Glory, and I'm really excited to be in this league. Like, there's a lot of great people I know, Kelly, Bub, Knightor, Bill, just to name a few, and I'm really excited to finally get the chance to play all those guys as well. You know, you have the big guys like PokeMEN, Leo, and of course aDrive, and there's a lot of great competition in this league. So I get to have fun, I get to be with my friends, and I get some good battles out of it. So it's an all-around great process and a great thing to be in for me. And so basically going into this draft, or this draft league, I was gonna stay with the South Florida Blues, and I was just like, you know what, I kind of want something different. So I decided to go with the Anaheim Farfetch'd. Reason being, the Anaheim Ducks, like late 90s, early 2000s, like I've never been a hockey fan, but I knew that logo, and I always felt like that was like one of the best, if not the best logo in sports. That's my opinion. So I really love that logo, and I just kind of wanted something to reflect that. So that's what I went with. And I went with Farfetch'd because I didn't want something obvious like Golduck or Psyduck or any of the other ducks that I can't think of right now. But I thought Farfetch'd was like different and cool, so went with that. But yeah, going into this draft, I was just like, I really want Celesteela, and if I can get Celesteela, then you know everything will be fun. But I was really just trying to be annoying as possible. If I didn't get Celesteela, it was no big deal. But let me just say, like, this is like the third time I'm recording this. The first time I did it solo, and it was like 45 minutes, so I'm gonna stay away from that. The second time I did it with a friend. His name is Buffet, so I really want to shout him out for taking the time to do it with me. So his link will be in the description. If you guys like Attack on Titan, he talks about that. He'll post a Pokemon battle every once in a while. Like, I think it's been a while since he's done one though, but he'll post them sometimes. So yeah, go check him out. But yeah, let's get back into this draft. So I was really trying to be annoying with this draft, and I really didn't know what I wanted outside of Celesteela. So I was like, yeah, I really didn't think it would be there when it got to my turn though. So I was like, okay, well, you go down the draft, Manaphy was taken, Tapu Fini was taken, Jirachi was taken, Tapu Koko was taken, and I was like, okay, like it's like all the big Pokemon were being taken, and I was like, I really don't think I'm gonna get Celesteela. And then the fifth pick gets there, and it's like Blastoise is taken. I think there's a chance, only one person in front of me. And then Mew is taken, and I'm like, yes, my pick. I take Celesteela. Now I can be really, really, really annoying. And I was just like, hey, whatever happens the rest of the draft, I really don't care, because Celesteela is a Pokemon I want to try out in draft. Like, it's one of those Pokemon that it has mixed reviews as in terms of, you know, people who use it. Like, Celesteela doesn't fit my normal playstyle as being, you know, as a Pokemon that can be like offensive or anything like that. But I would normally use Celesteela as like a defensive Pokemon, just because look at its stats. It's 97 HP, 103 defense, and 101 special defense. I mean, it has the offensive stats as well, but I probably myself am not used to using it as an offensive mon, but that's why I wanted to pick Celesteela up, because it can be offensive. And so I really love the versatility in it. The speed, obviously lackluster, but I can make that work. And also, I nicknamed it Alphonse. All of my Pokemon's names are going to be named after characters from Full Metal Alchemist. So that's my theme this season with this team. Normally I don't have a theme, I just pick names that I like, but I decided to go with a theme this time. But anyway, going into my second Pokemon, I knew what core I wanted. And like in the preseason, when we were getting the tiers and everything, we were voting on things, there was one Pokemon that was in tier 1, and I was like, this Pokemon has no reason to be in tier 1. This is a tier 2 Pokemon. And I fought for this thing to get into tier 2, and we finally put it into tier 2, and nobody picked it when it came back around to my pick, so I grabbed Sylveon. The reason I grabbed Sylveon is because I love Sylveon, point blank and simple. Clefable is a tier 1 pick, and I really didn't want to waste a tier 1 pick on Clefable. Florges was also available, but I feel like when it comes to fairies, Sylveon is better than Florges because, you know, it's a hyper voice, it's pixelate hyper voice. That thing hits hard as it is, and if I want to slap a choice specs on it, it's probably 2-hit KOing most things that don't resist it fairly well. Like, even if you resist it, you better have a high SPDEF, or you better have some SPDEF investment, because this might be a 2-hit KO on you. So that's really why I wanted Sylveon, because again, it's another versatile Pokemon. I can run especially defensive or physically defensive, and I can go offensive if I want, especially offensive if I want. So like I said, I have a thing for Sylveon, and it's the reason why I picked it, and I have history with using Sylveon. And its name is Olivier Mira. I think I said that right. But anyway, going into my third Pokemon, I already have 2 parts of my core, so it's why not just finish it off and get my dragon type. But I do want to point out, I had my next 2 picks figured out, right? I knew 3rd round I was getting my dragon, and I knew 4th round I was getting my mega, and I knew which mega I wanted. Levo picked right before I did, and he picked up Mega Absol, which screwed up my mega. Luckily, it didn't screw up my dragon pick, but it screwed up my mega. So, for my 3rd pick, I picked up Goodra, which I'm nicknaming Nina Tucker. And the reason why I wanted Goodra, because it gives me probably the fattest Fairy Dragon Steel core. And then I have Sylveon to pass wishes to both of them. I feel like this is really, really good. I can go offensive with any 3 of these Pokemon if I so choose. Goodra does have a pretty decent speed in 80. The offense is 100 and 110 respectively in attack and special attack. Obviously insanely high SPDEF, and then you slap on an assault vest and Goodra is just not dying. Like, that's just Goodra. It's not gonna die. So I was like, I really felt like this is something I needed, just to, like I said, be annoying as possible. And also, you guys, I know I have, like, what's on the right side of the screen is the schedule for the entire season, my schedule for the entire season. So you guys want to if you ever want to know who I'm playing during this battle, like, it's right there. And there's also a fan doc. But back to Goodra. I really wanted Goodra. I love Goodra as, like, it's just a good Pokemon to have, because it already hits insanely hard, and it can take pretty much any special attack, you know, as long as someone's not, like, buffed all the way up. So yeah, I really like Goodra. And then, like I said, I can be physically or especially offensive, and Goodra has some things it can run. Goodra, I think, is a great Pokemon to, like, counter team your opponent. Like, I think there's at least 1 rain team. There might be a second, I'm not sure. There's at least 1 rain team. So, like, you know, that's the thing they have to prep for. Like, hey, do you really want to bring your rain team when Goodra has the hydration ability? So, that's that. And Goodra is something I'm really looking forward to using. This whole core is something I'm really looking forward to. But going into my next pick, like I said, my mega was taken. A bunch of megas had already been taken off the board, and I didn't want a high tier mega. So Mega Blastoise was gone, Mega Scizor was gone. Mega Scizor wasn't something I was going to get anyway, just because I didn't want the second steel type in that. Mega Metacham was gone. It would have been nice to use Mega Metacham, but I really wasn't looking for it. I wanted Mega Absol, which is what Levo took. What else was taken? I don't think any other megas was taken before I got to my mega, but it was like, I really didn't want, like, Mega Sceptile. I didn't want, what else was available? Hold on, let me pull it up. It's like, I was trying to stick to either tier 2 or tier 3 megas, so like something like Mega Venusaur, Mega Pinsir, Mega Sableye, Mega Gyarados, Zard X or Zard Y, Mega Zam. I didn't want any of those. So it was really like, okay, Mega Aerodactyl, Mega Beedrill, Mega Absol, Garchomp, Pidgeot. Like, those are all the tier 2s. And then there's like Mega Audino, Mega Glalie, Mega Sceptile, Mega Sharpedo, Steelix, or Swampert. And I honestly didn't know what I wanted. And I was looking at my team. It's like, okay, this team is really slow. Like, when Goodra is your fastest Pokemon out of your first 3 picks, you probably need some speed. But like I said, I didn't want Mega Sceptile. I've used Mega Sceptile in the past, and I used it really well, but I really didn't want it again, especially because I already have like the lack of an ice resistance on this team. Like, because of Celesteela typing, it can take an ice hit, but it's not resistant to an ice type or ice move. So I decided to pick up Mega Glalie. I was just like, why not? I mean, it's at least base 100. Mega Pidgeot was a thought in my head, but I really didn't want it. So I went ahead and grabbed Mega Glalie. I figured, you know what, I can go especially or physical offensive as well with this. 100 speed is pretty decent, and it gives me priority. It gives me the ability to set up hazards and spikes if I so want it. That's really the only reason why I chose Mega Glalie, and I'm nicknaming Glalie Gluttony because look at it. Is there really any reason to justify why I'm nicknaming it Gluttony? But yeah, that's the Mega Glalie pick. For my 5th pick, I honestly was at this point, I was just like, okay, what do I need now? I need speed. And so like at this point I was like, okay, this is what I need, this is what I want, this is what I want. Like, I had my next 2 or 3 picks kind of like figured out. So we're getting around to it, and I'm just thinking, man, I don't think my next pick is gonna be there. And so as we're going through it, everybody is making their picks, right? We get to the 5th round. Metagross is taken, Meloetta is taken, Rotom Heat is taken, Diggersby is taken. None of these are Pokemon I want. Oh, so yeah, and then Scolipede is taken. Scolipede would be a nice Pokemon to use, but I didn't want it in this draft. And then we get to the 6th pick, which is Entei. That is the pick I wanted, and I was livid. I was like, oh my gosh, like I needed a good fire type. This would have been amazing. And I was just like, I don't know what to do now. So like I'm scrolling through the tier list trying to figure out what fire type is there that I can take, and I just say screw it, I'll figure out my fire type later, because like there aren't that many great ones. Like you're probably gonna have to go into like a tier 4 or 5 to pick up a fire type at this point. So I was like, you know what, let me go to my next pick and let me pick up Nidoking just to ensure that I have it. Now Nidoking here is going to be nicknamed Father. It's like, really? Nidoking, king, male, father, there you go. But Nidoking, the reason why I wanted it is because of the versatility. I can go physically, especially offensive again. It has the ability to set up Stealth Rocks. I believe it gets Toxic Spikes as well. I know Nidoqueen does, and they have pretty much the same move pool. It has priority in Sucker Punch if I so choose to use that, and I just really like Nidoking. You know, like I said, the speed is what I really didn't like, but I got sniped with Entei, unfortunately, and Levo has taken my picks twice. Like really, in this draft, I didn't have too many picks taken from me, but that pick was taken from me. So moving forward, we scroll down through the rest of that round, and nothing, you know, that I really wanted was taken. And I was just like, okay, we're looking good, and we get back to me, and I really didn't know what I wanted. I figured, looking at my team, I'm not hazard weak other than Glalie, but I figured it would be good to make sure I have a hazard remover. And Delmise is a Pokemon that I kind of want to try out. Like, I haven't seen it too many times in draft, and when people do draft it, they don't use it all often. So I was like, you know what? I figured this would be a decent Pokemon to use. Insanely high base attack stat in 131, defense is 100, base 70 HP. So I mean, you know, Buccaneer can, I figure, put in some work. Obviously, my team is really slow right now, so I have to figure something out for that. But I don't think I'm in a bad position or anything. You know, I just have to try. I just have to try and make it look good. But going back around, I figured, you know what, I need to make sure I get a fire type. And Rapidash was there, Ninetales obviously was there, and I'm just like, Magmortar was there. And I was like, I tried Magmortar in the major PL, and I was like, I don't like it. And I was just like looking, and the last decent fire type I figured would be Blaziken, which I'm gonna nickname Roy Mustang. And it was just like, you know what, Blaziken is there. Blaziken with its mixed offenses. As you guys see, there's a theme. I like versatility. I don't like to be predictable. It's mixed offenses. It's really good at offensive stats, 120 and 110. And the ability to set up like Swords Dances, speed or agilities, flame charge speed, home claws, and then baton pass them. I really like it. Now, like how the baton pass rule works in this league is how the baton pass rule works is just how it used to work in Smogon. You can baton pass any stat without speed. Like you can baton pass attack and defense, or you can baton pass attack, defense, special attack, or you know, anything as long as like those stats don't include speed, unless it's a minus speed. Or you can baton pass speed alone. So I kind of have a way to mitigate my horrible speed. So I was like, you know what, this works. This is something there. I mean, it sucks that Mega Glalie is still my fastest Pokemon with Nidoking second, but hey, this is pretty decent as of right now. So next up, I was like, okay, what do I need left? I need a water type, I need an electric type. Like those were two of the things that I wanted to make sure I had. And I was scrolling through and was like, you know what, I think getting an electric type would be good. And I was like, even though this Pokemon is slow, I feel like it would be good for me. And unfortunately, at the end of the round, King Above picked up Electros, and as soon as he did, I DM'd him and I was like, dude, what can I give you to get this Electros? And he was like, nah man, it fits my team too well, which it does. He has a good team, and that Electros fits his team. And I was like, crap man, I really wanted that Electros just because, like I said, the versatility for it. And so I'm scrolling back around, like I'm looking at the tiers, and I'm like, man, I can pick up a tier 1. Magnezone is sitting there in tier 1, like it looks really good. But I was like, you know what, Magnezone, I don't really know, because, you know, hey, when I play Nate, he has the Mega Scizor. I could trap that thing in and hit it with an HP Fire possibly. But I was like, I don't know if I should really do that. And I was hard about to do Magnezone though, because I really didn't know what else to pick. And then it was like, when it got down to like 2 or 3 picks prior to me, I realized there was a water Pokemon sitting in tier 1. So it gets to my pick and it's still sitting there. Like nobody before me could pick it because they didn't have the points available to pick a tier 1 at this point. So I knew this pick was mine. So I picked up Keldeo, aka Ling Yao. And what is there to really say about Keldeo, man? Choice Specs, Hydro Pumps, amazing Pokemon that can use hidden powers, amazing Pokemon that can get behind a sub and start setting up Calm Minds. Keldeo is just an amazing Pokemon. If I so choose or need to, I can run it physical. Like it doesn't have a great physical offensive attack stat or physical attack stat. It's 72, but I mean it gets SD. It's just you have to be smart with the rest of your EV spreads to just make sure you can like live the hits and get the SD up, because I think you need to get to +4 to even try to do some decent damage. But it is there. It gets priority in Aqua Jet, so you know, hey, if I need to pick something off, Aqua Jet is there. And for my last 3 or 4 picks, it was really difficult. Like I said, I'm trying to figure out what electric type to get, and it came down to like Electabuzz, Electivire, and there was one other electric type Zepstrika. Those are like the 3 electric types I was looking at, and I honestly didn't know what I wanted. Like I kind of ruled out Zepstrika immediately. Also, although it gave me pretty good speed, it was just like limited in its move pool. And so it really came down to Electivire or Electabuzz. Do I want speed or do I want power? It ultimately came down to me taking Electivire and getting the power. Like the 120 base attack or 123 base attack stat, 95 special attack stat is pretty decent. If I need to, I can run choice specs to make that special attack stat better. Electivire is just really good. It gets all the elemental punches. It gets great coverage. It gets Ice Punch to take out the ground types. It gets Earthquake to take on other electric types, such as Manectric, such as Raichu. I really felt like Electivire was, you know, just what I needed to help this team out. I mean, it gives me a Pokemon in the 90 speed tier, so that's pretty good. I'm starting to get my speed tiers right. Like I have one in the, I have 108. I have at 108 in Keldeo. That's what Keldeo fixed. It gave me a Pokemon over base 100. I have the base 100 and made a Glalie. Now I have the 95 and Electivire. I have the 85 and Nidoking. So I'm hitting the majority of my speed tiers now, and I'm just like, okay, at this point, what else do I need? I think I talked to like UnderTheRadar, Bill, and somebody else, and they were like, yo man, you should get a better rocker, because at this point the only rocker I have is Nidoking. And I was like, you know what, you guys are absolutely right. Let me get a better rocker. And I wanted Piloswine, right? I wanted Piloswine. Right, well, not right after, but a couple picks after I picked Electivire, Nate picked up Piloswine, and I'm like, oh great. What do I grab now? So I really had no idea what to grab, and you know, Bill picked up Sandslash, and I was just like, yeah, Sandslash, I didn't really care. I probably wasn't gonna pick it anyway. So Rhyperior got picked up. Bill picked up Rhyperior as well, and I'm just like, well, everything's getting picked up. So it gets back to my turn, and I'm like, I'll take Lycanroc Midnight. Why not? Lycanroc Midnight, what it gives me is it gives me the Pokemon with an ability No Guard. So I'm hitting all my Stone Edges. So if I want to put a Choice Band or a Choice Scarf on this thing, I'm hitting you every single time and doing a lot of damage to you. It also gets Sucker Punch. It gives me a Pokemon that's a pretty decent rocker. I can just slap a Focus Sash on if I need to and make sure I get up rocks. But outside of that, it's pretty good. I mean, there's this whole debate. At least I think it's a debate. Like, people are like, Lycanroc Day is better. I'm like, you know what? It's faster and it has the priority stab move, yeah. But to be able to guarantee that you hit that Stone Edge, Dude, I think this is the better Pokemon. I understand, you know, you're probably gonna have to run a Choice Scarf on it or a Focus Sash. Like, you have to do that. But to guarantee that I'm hitting that Stone Edge, I like this better. Like, the speed does not turn me away from it. And then it doesn't have a gimmick ability in Sand Rush, so that's what I like better. I mean, the other Lycanroc, you almost have to run into Sand Team, and even then, it's not like that great in a Sand Team. So I like this one better, and this is the one I went with. Plus, I think the other one was in a higher tier. I wasn't gonna go for it anyway, but I like this one better. And for my last Pokemon, I was just like, well, I pretty much have everything I want. I really didn't know what to pick at this point, and I was like, you know what? Let's continue this whole annoying thing. And what we're gonna do is we're gonna pick up Kecleon, aka Envy, the Pokemon that just likes to be every single type it can be. What I like about Kecleon is it's really good special defensive bulk. It gets priority in Sucker Punch and Shadow Sneak. It has a variety of move pools. It gets Thunder Wave, it gets Thunderbolt, it gets Psybeam. I wish it got like Psychic or Psyshock though. But it has like really diverse move pool, and it's kind of what I like about it. The reason why I picked it up. Other than that, there's no real reason to ever draft a Kecleon other than to be annoying, in my opinion, which is what I decided to do. So that is the end of my draft, you guys. I hope you like this. Looking at my schedule, there are three battles I'm really looking forward to, just because like these guys are really good friends of mine, and like they've helped me throughout various points. It's my week 5, 6, and 7 battles against Kyle, Kelly, and Bub, in that order. Like, I'm really looking forward to playing all three of them. Not that I'm not looking forward to playing anyone else. Like, obviously I'm looking forward to playing Nate, John. I'm looking forward to playing Dan, of course. Psycho is a really good battler. Leo's a really good battler. And of course I want to play Bub as well, and Knightor. Like, I'm looking forward to playing pretty much everybody. Like, I'm scared of like 5 people with Kelly probably being at the top of that list. But I'm looking forward to playing everybody and having fun, man. Like, no one in this league is like gonna be mad because they lost to a crit, because we're all like friends and we're all here to have fun. So with that said, man, oh, and before I go, let me let me just tell you guys my Zmon and how this works. So we have 3 Zmon. One can use any Z crystal, which means it could be an offensive Z crystal or a support Z crystal, and then the other 2 can only use offensive moves. So I guess you could say my what do they call it? My any Z move. I don't remember what they call it. Maybe it's Omni Z move. No, you can't use Omni moves. So whatever they call it. We called it Super Saiyan Z user. But the Pokemon that can use any Z crystal is going to be Blaziken. And then the other 2 that can use just as regular Z crystals are Nidoking and Electivire. Honestly, I'm regretting making Nidoking a Z move user, or at least not making it the one that can use any Z crystal, just because I completely forgot that between Life Orb and then the Z moves, there's not that big of a difference. Like, I was calculating something the other day, and I think it's like a 10% difference. While that is the difference between an Oko and Living, it's still not that much of a difference, and I probably could have either made it like my all-purpose Z move user and had something like Z Sandstorm going, and where I get a speed boost, or I could have, you know, given it to something else, probably like Goodra. I don't know, but it is what it is. So those are my 3 Z move users: Blaziken, Nidoking, and Electivire. And I'm gonna get up out of here. I hope you guys support me throughout the season. I am LynxForte, the coach in the Anaheim Farfetch'd, and I will see you on Friday for my team builder and Saturday for the first battle of the week against the Camden Ursaring. I'm out of here. Peace.